Hey folks, in this video I'm going to give you my first sort of experience with this ChargePlace Scotland network. Now as I record this video, just to make you all aware, the year is 2021 and we're in July now, so we're halfway through the year. So a little bit of context on this video before we get into what I think of ChargePlace Scotland network. So a little bit of context, it might be improved by the time that you watch this video, but fingers crossed it does. So, give you a backstory. I got an electric vehicle, an MG ZS EV, about a week ago, and I live up in Huntly, up in Aberdeenshire, and I thought we would go on a little road trip in this this new electric vehicle. So I knew I was going to be doing a few more miles. The EV's got around about 130 mile range real world, so I knew that I was going to be using the charge network. And if you're on that map, the Zap map, and you have a look around, what you soon realize is ChargePlace Scotland owns the majority of the chargers in Scotland. There's very few other networks that have as many chargers. So you've got like PodPoint, you've got Instavolt, to name two that I've come across. I'm only naming those two because they're the other ones that I've used at this point in the sort of 2 weeks worth of ownership. But from what I understand with ChargePlace Scotland, I knew this about a month ago. I needed an RFID card, or I needed to use the app to be able to actually, pay for a charge in one of these chargers. And some of the charge points are free. So we, I registered for a new card, an RFID card, about 2 weeks ago. Still waiting on it. So I thought, okay, I can use the app in preparation. I loaded my card details into the app, and then we went on our merry way down to Edinburgh. And we're about halfway there, and I planned the charge beside Forfar. So it was around about 60, 70 miles in. I thought we can stop there, get a McDonald's and charge the car. Anyway, the experience was terrible. That's the way to explain it. Got to the charge points, the brand new charge points, and they've been installed about half a mile away from the McDonald's. That's the first thing that I noticed. It's on the edge of a business park, and I thought, why are all the charge points for these EVs nowhere near where anyone actually is going to be? It almost seems as though they were made for the people in the office, the business park, as opposed to anyone that was coming off the motorway, want to get a bite to eat and actually use one of the chargers. So that was the first thing. I thought, well, it's kind of a little bit out of the way. So I had to drop my my daughter and my wife off at McDonald's, and I drove down to the charge point. And I could not. I was still waiting the card, the RFID card, and I couldn't get the app to work either. So my credit card, when I went to use the card and activate the charge, it told me I needed to enter the last three digits of the charge, which I did on my card, and then it just did a 404 error. So I had to phone up their helpline, and it was a 20-minute wait for this helpline, and they told me, okay sir, you're going to have to go in onto the website and actually add your card in properly there, which I already thought I'd done. So I went to the website on my iPhone, and it was really difficult to navigate because doesn't render down into the iPhone, and lo and behold, there is nowhere to actually add in your credit card on the website. So I'm still waiting an RFID card. That's been like 2 weeks. Prior to that, actually, I should mention that it took me about a week to register on their website. They had issues with their website. So there's a 3-week wait there. I can't use the app because I can't add my card details into the app or the website because there's a server error. And I'm scratching my head. This is like a national network in Scotland, and there's all this trouble just with someone new to the whole network. What I did was I went onto the Twitter feed of ChargePlace Scot, and I looked at everyone else's comments on there, and I quite quickly realised potentially the mistake in buying a non-Tesla EV. We know with Tesla you've got the Tesla network, the superchargers. But if you're not Tesla, you're screwed basically in Scotland. That's the only way I can say it. You are screwed because they are not reliable, the ChargePlace Scotland chargers. We were lucky when we were in Forfar, about 2 miles away in the town centre. There was an Instavolt. We managed to charge fine. And the more that I look into this, I seem to get the feeling that all of the private networks work. The majority of them work, apart from BP Pulse. I think that's another one that's potentially you got to watch out for. But Instavolt was flawless. We got, on the way back, we had to stop again. We used a pod point at a Tesco. That worked fine. We had to register the details in the app, but the app worked fine. And then we got to Aberdeen, and I had to wait for the wife to get her haircut. So I thought, okay, let's try the pod point in the shopping centre. And our charge cable got stuck in the car and the pod point. I had to phone them up to get it released. So my experience in general has not been great. But Charge Place Scotland they really need to get themselves sorted out. And my understanding is it's a new network operator or someone else that's going to fulfill the contract. And I think one of the issues that the Scottish government have is, they go through this tender process for these private companies to run the networks. But with any government tender, what tends to happen is it's usually given to there's very little margin, so there's you can't make that much money on it. And I get the feeling that's what was happening with Charge Place Scotland. The old network operator, Charge Your Car, they just weren't making enough money on it, so it wasn't in their interest to continue maintaining the network. And you can see that by the disgrace that there is there. I mean, that's my rant of Charge Place Scotland. As I say, for reference, it is July, and there's a new network that operator that's going to be taking them over. But the thing I'm thinking to myself is there's supposedly a new app coming out as well. It's like, how is this new operator going to let everyone know that there's a new app and things like that, for new registered users? I just don't know how it's going to work. So I'm at a loss, and I am questioning buying an EV in 2021. I think I should have maybe waited 10 years before purchasing an EV in Scotland, because the network needs to get up to a certain level, because I know what's going to happen over the next 2 years. Charge points are going to be in short supply. Everyone's buying EVs just now, and it's just going to go over capacity, and it's going to be a real nightmare. I just know that's what's going to happen. So anytime I need to travel further than kind of the daily commute or where I go on a regular basis, that's within range, I'm going to be hiring a car, because it's just not reliable, the Charge Place Scotland network at this point in time. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to stop moaning now. A little bit of a different video. I didn't plan to rant for as much as I have done, but there you go. And I do feel sorry for anyone that's maybe travelling to Scotland from down south from England. It's just going to be a nightmare for them coming up here as tourists. On the helpline, that's the other thing, it's just 20 minutes each way, so I had 20 minutes to activate the charge on hold, and then when I was finished, I had to phone up to get the cable released. It's not on. Anyway, that's it. Bye.